16th of September, I think it's about, well, it's 7. I'm just heading down to the last load of corn to lay them. They must have done fairly well. A lot of corn, a lot of oats have come off them. So yeah, end of harvest day up. Combine's running well, and now we're going back from Class Eastern, so it's at Wilberforce. And it turned out it was a dry bearing. One of the pipes, what feed grease to the bearing, on main bearing on the drum, wasn't feeding grease, it was going somewhere else. And so how we hadn't fired it, because it run all harvest with a lumpy bearing, so how the bloody hell we hadn't fired it, I do not know. Yeah, so that's a bit of good news. We're not the best of days, well, Ollie buggered mower, so that's the mending morning, not a massive job, only a UG and a PO. I've buggered sprayer, so I've been bloody stripping a gearbox on a oil motor, a reduction motor on pump, so that's to do in morning. So yeah, not the best of days, but a good day. Sunset's going down over there, skies looks beautiful really. A lot of planes in the sky and all. Are we getting back to normal? You know, we're like on holiday. You know, there's 2 or 3, 4, 5 vapor trails, so you know, quite a lot of planes out. It's a great sunset. Yep, our Oliver here. Who's going to get back? He'll expect me to. Disadvantage of being we're spread out all over. I think this farm's about 7 miles from the base. Could be even further, could be 8 miles. And it's just, I mean, it's Barley, it's all extra work. Like, it'd be lovely to be in a ring fence. I've always said that. All our land was in a ring fence. It'd be just so easier because, I mean, roads, there's that much bloody traffic on it. This road's terrible for cyclists. And cyclists don't give. I mean, they think, no, they get to the side, you'll go by them, but I mean, this tractor's as wide as the road. In fact, combine's wider than road. Oh, it's awful. We go all the way. We go long way because it's a lot wider. Yeah, because you hit every bloody pothole or grip hole if you meet someone, job's knackered. That's one we've done. It's the first one he went into. Actually, there looks quite a lot of straw. Oh, it was wet in winter, that. Seriously wet land down here. In fact, you don't mess with it in winter. You just don't come here in winter. It's just a horrible spot. It's not bad in summer. In fact, it's quite pleasant, but winter it's just a no-no. It's not really the evening to be cutting oats. It's damp as out, but there's about 5 acre left and we're just going to do them. We're losing a few of it back, but and it's woofing and banging his combine a little bit because it's damp already. It just feels like, I mean, just atmosphere's damp, but actually they're doing very, very well. He ain't going far for a tank full, so they won't be doing massive yield, 2.5 ton maybe, I reckon. So good boiled oats and all, and they've made the grade for bushel weight for Quakers if we want to sell them, send them up there. So you know, we might end up on your breakfast tables yet. So right back end side, there's a load of geese coming into land on stubbles, feeding on to, you know, stuff we've left. This land here, you can't see much today, but we've direct drilled spring oats for 3 years on trot, and it was terrible for blackgrass. And while we started direct drilling, we drilled it with wheat one year conventionally, just ploughed it, powered it, drilled it, and we had to knock both fields up, this and next door neighbour, because it had just riddled with blackgrass. It was just a lawn. It was like a lawn, you know, it was just that thick with blackgrass. Anyway, we've direct drilled it, and it was a bit more daylight with it than this when I first came. And there's odd bit, but it is odd bit now. You know, so I think this method is working, and I think drainage-wise, it isn't really suffering. So I don't think we're gonna touch it this year neither. It could just do with some mucking. We've mucked one this time. A neighbour of ours, we gave him a field of straw, and he gave us a load of muck. And we've incorporated it, and I think I'd like to put some muck on this one year, and or maybe even a cover crop to put something back in, you know, feed the land a little bit over winter. There will be a bit of greenery come, I mean a few oats, you know, what we've left, and chaff spread has chucked about, because she's chucking a bit over now. It's damp as hell and it's chucking it over back, but which bit it is, I mean, it's going to keep the microorganisms happy in winter, growing away like so. But yeah, it's nice to get finished. Seems to have been a right long drawn out harvest with major problems, but weather wise it hasn't been brilliant. We haven't had a lot of sun, a few breakdowns, not massive. We haven't had a puncture this time. Oh, I shouldn't say too much, we're at home yet. We haven't had a puncture this harvest. That's bloody, you know, usually we hit a curb or a nail or something, you know, but no, we haven't got a puncture. I'm full. Ollie's on his way back, so 9 o'clock we'll all be, he's on about taking combine home. I think it's a bit of a risk, but we have to go up main road. But if he wants to take it, he can take it. We'll escort him back. Right, I'll have a ride on, see what he says. See if the problem is rectified. The vibration problem. What we're doing today, we're experimenting. We're drilling some cover crops, 35 acre in some real horrible, well, it looks alright now, but it's sticky and wet in winter. It's got drainage issues, rubbish issues, all issues twice, and it's not the best of land. So we've sumo trioed it, we've simmer soloed it, and 5 acre we're putting in with, well, it's like 49% veg, English veg, 49% Westerwald ryegrass, and then I think there's a percent of fodder radish and a percent of white radish. Apparently the white radish is really good deep for drainage. It's just basically, it's not to graze or anything like that. It's more soil conditioning and keeping everything happy in winter. Whether it works, I don't know, but we're struggling. So well, there's 5 acre of that to go in, what I've just told you, and then I'm going to brew some like spring oats and an oilseed rape. I don't know. 5 acre of that, and just see what that does. Whether there's any advantages or disadvantages, but and then the rest of the field is 23 acres, so there's going to be 10 acre of cover crops, half of a bought mix, which is quite expensive actually. We're putting 30 kilo a hectare on of that, well just over 32 kilo a hectare, and to do 5 acres it's cost 200 quid, which bloody is an unnecessary spend, but if it does a bit of good it isn't, but we'll see. Morning, it's Sunday the 19th of September. Just starting to drill winter barley. I've been spraying this morning actually. It was a little bit damp on the leaf, but it's talking about rain later on, so volunteer barley in our rape is just taking over a bit, so we just needed to get on top of it. So it's going really well. Not as bad as that's behaving itself. weather does break on you, you can end up with a right mess. And now it's in, or paddling stuff in, so, you know, we're making a start. This week we'll have, I don't know, I'd like to say by next Friday, we're rushing out it. I've got a lot of roundupping to do on some work land and some stubbles before we prepare it. But, I mean, if we have 100 acre in by next Friday, then Friday after 300 acre, you know, it's that type of thing, like, you know, not go too bombastic at it. Yeah, our oilseed rate, yeah, it's quite impressive actually. As I say, it's drilled so late, it's got its true leaf now, so it's not as vulnerable for the slugs and flea beetle as it was. And I would say there's too many plants. We only drilled it at 2.8 kilo, I think. Yeah, 2.8 kilo, a bit heavier than usual because we were a bit later. And anyway, it looks like they've all grown, so wish we'd sort of cut back a bit now, but it could have been other way, couldn't it? Anybody in your area done any nays, you viewers? Because ours is starting to look very woody, so it won't be long before he's having a go. About the minibus full of nuns what got crashed into by that wagon. They all got killed. Anyway, on their way to the Pearl, well, they got to the Pearly Gates and St. Peter said, just a question to ask you ladies before you come in, have you ever touched a penis? Anyway, the nun at the front said, yes, I just touched one with my little finger once. So, right. Put your finger in the holy water then, clean it off. Right, second nun says yes, I touched one with my fingers too, so she washed her hands. Anyway, St. Peter saw all this commotion at the back of the queue. This bloody pushing and shoving anyway. Oh, what's the problem, Sister Margaret? Why are you pushing to the front? She says, I want to swill my mouth out before Sister Fiona washes her ass in it. Anyway, that's your joke of the day. I think that's not for the younger viewers. Yeah, I'm really pleased actually, this is a fantastic. I don't know whether you lot can see how low this is, but we've put this temporary drain in. Well, not a temporary drain. We've found the land drains, which go that way. See that angle? And this wet hole, bloody hell, sometimes it could be 2-3 acre flooded up in here in a real wet time. So it's not quite the lowest part of the wet hole though. That's 10 metres, 20 metres that way, 20 metres that way is the low bit, so we might just have to dig a little trench to get it off. But what we've done, we've found the land drain and we've dug it out, dug an hole, put 2 super single tyres in with some bricks in between. some bricks here, so there's a gap there, and that's where the gravel is. And we've surrounded it with this gravel, what we had left for draining some land at Barley. And the idea is all the water